And we're back like LeBron's hairline. Welcome back inside the Let's Not Do This podcast on Thursday, December the 14th, the year of our Lord, 2023. Got two people here, just two. It's two main advantage, one-on-one. We're like Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith.
Well, you're Skip. I don't like either one.
That might be racist.
What?
I don't know. We got Scotty Too Hottie here alongside me, the Big O, Lean on Oliver. Scotty, we did not do this one last week, so I feel like I haven't seen you in like many of a moon.
Yeah, not long enough though.
Yeah. So I take responsibility for that. I had some things pop up on my schedule, and by schedule, there may have been a deportation hearing. There may not have been a deportation hearing. We don't know. All I can tell you is Guatemala is lovely this time of year. If you haven't been, consult your local travel guide.
So you're not hiding anybody in your spare room anymore?
No. Gustavo and my cigar rolling crew are now gone. I watched an episode of Seinfeld where he tried to get Dominicans to roll Cuban cigars. Tried to recreate that with some Guatemalans. Didn't quite work out.
Okay.
Next time we'll see if I can get some Peruvians to make coffee. Because Juan Valdez was Colombian, right? Maxwell House?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
We'll see how Peruvians can do with coffee. So I don't know. We'll see. All right. So Chris should be joining us here in a little bit. He probably is in county lockup somewhere. I'm sure Johnny Law has been after him for quite some time.
How long do you think it will take him to mention he went 6-0 2 weeks ago?
Oh, you know what? If it didn't listen, that might as well have been 18 years ago. It's like all the Pitt's football's national championships. You ever seen like the Pitt Panthers when they pull up, their bus says like 9 national championships. And, like, everything was before integration. Like, fuck you, Pitt. Like, that's Chris's picks.
It's all downhill from him.
Pretty much. I brought up Pitt football and integration, and we're not even 5 minutes into the show.
Yep. Yeah.
Got that going for me. All right. So a couple things that we wanted to touch on before Tweedledee got over here was, Scotty, you and I were talking. Now, I don't watch NBA. And I think everyone that, subscribes to this podcast, all 18 of them, know that. But apparently there was a kerfluffle yesterday with one Giannis Antetokounmpo. Did I say that right?
You did. Yeah, I didn't see what happened. Like, I haven't seen video of it. I just kind of read up on it, but it sounds like so Giannis broke the franchise record. I don't remember what he finished with, 64 points, I believe.
I think it was 64, yeah.
Yeah, but he broke, I believe, Michael Redd's franchise record. And, well, he's saying he wanted a game ball because Damian Lillard passed Kyle Korver for number 5 all-time in three-pointers, which I don't believe that. I think it was for him. But also the Pacers had a rookie, Oscar Tshiebwe from Kentucky. Yes, he scored his first point, and so the Pacers are saying they wanted to give him the game ball. So the Pacers took the game ball, went to the locker room, and I guess Giannis and a few other players ran after him because he wanted the ball. But my thing is, it makes no sense because they had more than one game ball. So why don't you? Why doesn't Giannis get one and then the Pacers get one? It's silly. It's stupid.
Well, you mentioned silly and stupid, and we had that's the definition.
What a terrible transition. Fuck you.
It works perfectly, actually. But yeah, you mentioned. So, Chris, we were talking. I don't know if you caught it in the green room while you were coming on here, but the Giannis Antetokounmpo situation yesterday with the ball and the kerfluffle, and apparently a Pacers assistant, Pacers GM was elbowed in the ribs, I guess. But how many basketballs do they keep on hand during an NBA game? There's got to be more than one, right? As Scotty said.
Well, yeah, they got a whole rack. I don't know how many they actually use throughout the game.
I know, like in the NFL, it's like, I think for an outdoor game, it's like 36 balls or something like that.
Yeah, NFL is a lot different.
A lot different, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, they might use a different one each half. I don't know.
But they definitely
that was kind of dumb.
Yeah.
What did he do that he wanted the ball back so bad?
he says he wanted it for. We were just talking about this, but he said he wanted it for Damian Lillard because he passed Kyle Korver on the all-time 3-point mark to get in the top 5. So he's 5th now overall. But it was because Giannis broke the franchise scoring record for one game. He scored 64 last night. That's what he wanted it for. He's saying he wanted it for the game, but yeah. But they had 2 game balls. It's silly. It's childish.
Yeah.
It is silly, but I will say I do like that we kind of got like a new rivalry going. Like these teams hate each other from the play-in tournament and all that. So we need more rivalries. Stop being friends.
Yeah, it's been fun.
So Bucks Pacers is going to be our new Bulls Knicks.
I wouldn't go that far, but it's always good for the fans when teams hate each other.
Yeah, no, it's always great. That's the biggest thing where someone like me that doesn't watch that sport, that used to back in the day, that's one of the biggest things. Like, all these guys are friends. They all hug each other after a game. They're dapping each other up and stuff. There's no hatred. There's no, like, animosity. There's no guys elbowing people in the mouth unless Draymond Green is playing in the game. Other than that, there's not a lot of that going on. So I want a little guff. I want a little fighting and stuff. But how can you not just let the Rook get the ball? Who knows? Oscar Tshiebwe might never play another game. He might go to the G League or whatever. Who knows? Give the Rook the ball. How many times?
He's been killing it in the G League. He set the G League record for rebounds in a game. I think it was like 28.
He was quite good at Kentucky. So obviously, I don't watch the go to the next level. So I don't know what they were doing there.
Our boy Briante Weber was once killing it in the D League too. So is it G League or D League?
G League now.
It's G League now because
right.
Gatorade sponsors them.
Okay. So look, this is the Christmas season, right? So I'm going to be benevolent and take a page out of the Bible, and this is how you solve this.
Cut it in half.
Yes. We will take this basketball and we will chop it in half, and we will frame a half and give a half to Giannis, and he can give it to Lillard if he wants. It can be Dame time, and then also we can give the other half to Mr. Tshiebwe, and everything is satisfied. Everything is taken care of. Or the rightful owner of the ball will say, let's not chop it in half, and that person will get the ball. We can learn in this religious season.
Just let Giannis and Tshiebwe fight to the death.
Make it a 3-way with Draymond Green.
Might get rid of the Draymond problem.
I would watch that, actually.
There's 2 balls. There's 2 balls. Each guy gets a ball. I guess Giannis, the Pacers gave Giannis the ball, from what I heard afterwards. Like eventually, I don't know. It's silly.
What, they give Tshiebwe like a ball out of the team store or something?
I don't understand.
They probably gave Giannis the team ball and then kept the real one.
You don't owe the visiting team anything. Why are they giving into it?
No, if you ask the Washington Commanders, you don't even owe them hot water in the showers.
Exactly. Fuck them.
Yeah. I'm of the opinion that the visitors, you take from them everything, you give them nothing. It's like Iowa football with the pink locker room, You're there to make them uncomfortable. I'm not giving you a basketball. Fuck that.
Exactly.
You make the basketball out of play at that point if you want to keep it.
That's your view on immigration too, isn't it?
Let's not do this podcast or not, though. So we don't have an angel investor anymore, so goddamn it.
Once the Pacers had the ball in the locker room, it's their ball.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
it's their ball anyways. They're the home team.
Yeah. All right. Whatever.
Yeah. Maybe someone should. You know what? I'm gonna pull that comment back. I was about to make a NBA commissioner joke, and then I realized the gentleman that I was going to make the joke about is no longer living. That's how long I keep up with the association there. So we're just going to scoot that one on through.
So you didn't watch any in-season tournament games?
Oh, God, no.
Can we talk about that?
I think you would have enjoyed it. They were competitive and fun.
Are they still
They were actually playing hard.
Were they still shooting 75 threes and the scores were 184 to 162?
How do you not enjoy that?
No, I want to see defense. I want bad boys Pistons. I want 82 to 79 game. That's what I want. I want bloody noses, and I want big men throwing their hips into people, backing people down with their back to the basket. That's what I want. I want Rick Smith's hook shots. I want Kevin Duckworth. I want Bill Laimbeer clotheslining people. That's what I want. That's my NBA.
It's never going.
So you're a UVA fan then?
Well, I actually like to watch the ball go in the hoop when it is time to shoot it. So, yeah. Yeah. But no, I know in sports people love offense. I mean, you look at all the NFL rules and how the quarterbacks is protected and how pass interference is called and everything.
Not working out this year.
Yeah. Yeah. And how baseball is. Everything is hockey is more wide open now. Everything is geared toward more offense. But I feel like it's artificial. And I feel like all these threes and the way the NBA game is, it just doesn't interest me. It's not the same game of basketball. And I know people can say that about football, like spread formation and throwing the ball everywhere, and no one's handing it to someone like Walter Payton 25 times a game. And I get games change, but it just doesn't turn me on as a sports fan. Like the NBA product just does not interest me.
Yeah,
well, you haven't given it a chance in a while, so maybe you should tune back in.
I've been watching the Euro League. That's been scratching my basketball itch.
Give it a one night shot.
I get
Christmas Day.
I get what you're saying to an extent, though. It's like you don't want it just to be so easy on the offensive end.
Yeah. Chris, you want me to do the one night stand? What was that movie? One Night in Paris. Was that the Paris Hilton porn?
So you would be the expert on that.
So do I just randomly pick a game one night in Oklahoma City and I watch the Thunder?
Oklahoma City is a fun team to watch.
I couldn't name it.
Who are they playing tonight?
I couldn't name a single player on the Thunder. The last Thunder person that
you can. You know at least two of them. At least, three. One for the guy being in the news, but you know SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Okay, yeah, I know him. He's Canadian, right?
Yes. And you know Chet Holmgren.
The Gonzaga.
Yeah.
Okay. Is he Canadian?
He looks like White Wembanyama.
Is he Canadian too?
No.
No.
I think he's from like Minnesota or Wisconsin or something.
Same thing.
Yeah, well.
That might be statist. Is that that's your name? I don't know. But yeah. All right. Well, I don't know. We'll see. I'll only watch the NBA if one of you watch it with me because I need someone to poke me to keep me awake. So we'll see what happens there.
That's what
we got. Yeah, no shit. Depends on how much you drink that day.
Yeah, every UFC.
Well, yeah, I've been drinking the Miller Genuine Draft as I struggle to find my camera. The Miller Genuine Draft Originals here back in the day. When's the last time you've seen these?
What is on the can?
It is it kind of looks like a imperial Japanese flag, but it is a eagle in a red circle there. It's the Miller Genuine Draft back in the day when my old man couldn't get Budweisers back in the day, and he would drink these if someone didn't.
Weren't those cans like gold or something?
You might be thinking about Michelob, like the original Michelob back in the day. I don't know. I drank these, and I drank a 6-pack of hams the other day. I'm drinking old Midwestern man beer right now, and I'm kind of getting down with it.
I think he's thinking of Coors Banquet.
No, it's like cream color.
Yeah,
cream, gold, whatever.
Yeah, Coors Banquet is great. I love that beer. It's one of my favorites. I love that Scotty, by the way, is starting to drink craft beer, and I'm backsliding more into the macros.
Yep, I just found it. It's the first picture when you Google it.
What?
It was gold. The Miller Genuine Draft.
Oh, well, there we go. All right. Well, real quick before we transition away from the NBA and on to some other stuff, we're going to talk about UFC here in just a little bit before we get into football. But, Chris, I know Scotty and I really didn't have too many thoughts on this. What about you? Any thoughts on the Draymond situation? How do you handle him from henceforth?
I think you do exactly what they tried to do with Ja Morant last year, and if he comes back and does this stupid shit again, you suspend him for the rest of the year.
Does he have like a problem? Does he have like some sort of like emotional unbalance? Is he unwell?
Yes. You don't remember him kicking Steven Adams in the dick multiple times during the playoffs a few years ago?
We've seen this unhinged behavior. Like, does he need some deep-seated, like, psychiatric treatment, some help?
More than likely. He should come to my pharmacy. We got plenty of stuff to help him out.
Well, they're making him do like a anger management or something like that. They're making him take classes.
He needs something. He needs Jesus. or whoever you put your faith into.
Buddhism. You know,
he needs to be Zen.
Very Zen. Phil Jackson needs to coach Draymond Green and teach him about some of the Zen stuff. I would actually
maybe he just needs to smoke weed before every game. Who knows?
Is that legal in the NBA now? Can you smoke?
Yes.
Oh, well, There we go. Get them tanked up. Bring back the Jailblazers from back in the day. Get Stoudemire's coaching over at Georgia Tech. Fly him in every now and then. Get Rasheed. Get all those guys together. Just start smoking up before Draymond goes out.
Ruben Patterson.
Yeah. Every time I hear Ruben Patterson, I think about Ruben Hurricane Carter. In my mind, I think they're the same guy.
I thought you were going to say you think of a Reuben sandwich.
Ruben right now. Let me tell you, I can fuck up a Ruben right now. All right, well, speaking of fucking up, UFC 296 coming up on Saturday. Some people are probably going to get their noses fucked up in this one here. You guys know me. I don't really watch the NBA, and I'm a very casual UFC person, provided I don't pass out during the pay-per-views from the alcohol. So I will cede the floor to you. Chris, you're kind of like our Rain Man. Your autism actually kicks in well. For this. Your thoughts on this card and what we're going to see Saturday?
Let me pull it up. I'm not prepared. I was late. I'm not prepared.
You've heard I was late before once in your life, and it worked out well.
Did it? I don't think it did. I have 4 more years of child support.
Not for Gavin.
Yeah. Imagine looking at that face with those sunglasses, as the chat has reminded us here. Are we still sticking with the sunglasses here? Thank you, Will. I was wondering the same thing. Imagine being that man's child and looking at that face with those sunglasses on and saying, "That's my inspiration." Will seems to like the UFC card coming up. He thinks it's a pretty dope card coming up there on Saturday. Well, Chris, while you can struggle to pull that up, I'll start things off.
Go ahead.
2 fights I know on this card that I actually A, know, and B, will actually be paying any sort of attention to. Number 1 is Paddy the Baddy, Paddy Pimblett going against Tony Ferguson. Correct me if I'm wrong there. Tony's lost his last 6 matches?
5 or 6, yeah.
It's something a while. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, he lost his last 6.
He's lost his last 6. So this is, and Paddy hasn't fought in a year. He had the ankle injury, I believe it was, from his last fight. This is a kind of a pivotal moment for him. Like his career can go one way or the other.
He fought in July. Before that, it was a year.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, well, he hasn't been as relevant as he was in like a year.
He should have.
A lot of buzz, a lot of push going behind him and stuff before, and it's kind of faded into obscurity. And now you have this guy in Ferguson who's lost 6 straight fights, and he's kind of like a gatekeeper at this point, right?
Who?
He has been for. I mean, he's not a gatekeeper anymore. He was.
Yeah, but if you're someone like Paddy Pimblett, you're trying to like elevate your status, like a win over a guy with his resume, even though he's on the downside, would kind of elevate you a bit. I feel like
he's still a huge name. Yeah,
I feel like it's a lose-lose for him though, because if you win this fight,
absolutely,
you were supposed to do what you were supposed to do. But then if you lose this fight, oh well, I told you the hype was never going to be all this. This guy never was all this. Seems like it's a no-win situation for Paddy.
I don't know about that. He's definitely not a gatekeeper, because if you're a gatekeeper, that means you win sometimes. But I think this is actually, there's not many fights in the UFC level that he's going to win right now. And this is kind of a fight that's going to bring a lot of viewers, and one that he could possibly win because Paddy's overrated. I think it will be an exciting fight, hopefully. But yeah, I don't think it's a lose-lose for him. I think if he loses this fight, maybe he gets cut. Or maybe Dana brings him back for some crazy fight. I don't know. But if he wins, then he's going to get at least one more fight in the UFC, a money fight. So, I mean, I don't think it's a lose-lose for him.
Yeah, Paddy Pimblett, not a good fighter. He's mediocre at best. He's just like that guy that beat CM Punk. He's just got the Barstool hype train behind him. So that's the only reason he's even on a main card. Tony Ferguson, at this stage in his career, still 1,000% more skilled than Paddy Pimblett. So yeah, I don't see it ending well for Paddy. He's going to get exposed. Tony's old, hasn't won in a while, still way better than Paddy Pimblett ever will be.
Well, Chris, I'm glad you brought that up. Does he still have the Barstool push behind him? Because especially after Dave bought the company back from Penn, I watch a lot of Barstool content. Unless I've missed it, I mean, they have so much content out every day now, but I haven't seen much talk about this fight. I haven't seen Dave talk about it or anyone. I haven't seen Barstool push it or promote it. I wonder, did all that go away with the Penn deal?
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't follow them at all, but that's the only reason he was ever on the radar.
Interesting. Well, you may be tipping your cap a little bit on this one here. Might as well go into it. I know you had this on your picks. Might as well, since we're already talking UFC. Your prognostication for this bout?
Tony Ferguson is a big underdog, so I'm just picking him to win, not by any method. But that was at plus 240, so I took that. Easy money.
Tony Ferguson plus 240 there. All right. And then staying with UFC, also on your card, Chris, Josh Emmett taking on Bryce Mitchell. Your thoughts here?
Yeah, this one can go either way. Bryce Mitchell is ridiculous at jiu-jitsu. His stand-up, not good. It's decent, but it's not good. Josh Emmett can crack. So I just went on a flyer. Josh Emmett by KO, TKO, or DQ at plus 450.
Okay. Scott, I know you didn't have this on your card, but any thoughts on either one of those two fights?
If I had to pick straight up, I think Paddy's going to win. But with the odds, I would definitely take a flyer on Ferguson. I mean, I think the fight could go either way. Ferguson just looks so bad lately. And then I don't know about Emmett Mitchell. Mitchell is a late replacement, right? I believe so. No,
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I think he is. So I mean, those fights are always weird. Again, the money on Emmett as the underdog is worth it, in my opinion.
All right. Then we might as well just go ahead and round out Chris's UFC card here with the main event there. Leon Edwards taking on Colby Covington. I'm very torn on this one. Obviously, my namesake, Mr. Edwards, also a fellow countryman, taking on Colby Covington, who I love and endure, who also is a brand new spokesman now for Happy Dad hard seltzer. So he's got that going for him. With the
he would be a sponsor for a seltzer.
I haven't had Happy Dad. Have any of you guys heard it?
I've never heard of it, so I don't.
Nah.
You never heard of Happy Dad?
Nope.
The Milk Boys. It's their seltzer. It's like everywhere in the stores now. I'm not a seltzer guy, so I haven't bought it. But maybe I'll crack a couple and watch Colby on this fight here. Chris, you are no lover of Colby Covington here, so I'm intrigued to hear your slander.
No, I think Leon Edwards is Jamaican, and aren't they? Or he represents England in some way, but I think he's Jamaican. But
citizenship, I think, in England now.
Yeah,
people can move countries, Chris.
Yeah, so but he's not English, just like you aren't either. So
Chris hates immigration.
Oh, he does. Chris was
I love immigration.
Chris was at the southern border earlier today,
trying to pick up women.
As you can tell, he was unsuccessful. Even destitute Guatemalan women sneaking into the country have no interest in Chris.
All right, so this is my actual breakdown of the fight. Besides, fuck Colby Covington always. Colby Covington is not as good of a version as Kamaru Usman. He's not as strong, not as powerful, can't hit as hard. Leon Edwards starched him twice. So I think Leon's going to get the KO, TKO, or possibly Colby Covington loses his shit and gets DQ'd, plus 375.
Okay.
Any of those three things can happen very easily.
Scotty?
So this is on so for anybody watching out there, we're doing 3 NFL picks and then 3 non-NFL picks.
Yes.
Just about anything. So this is on one of my non-NFL picks. So at DraftKings, I like betting UFC. They have like little parlays you can do. I'm doing so Edwards to win and over 10.5 minutes. So basically 30 seconds into the third round.
Fair.
It's minus 110 on DK. So pretty good odds, I think. Like you were saying, Edwards is coming off back-to-back wins against Usman, who's a much better fighter than Covington. I don't think Covington deserves this title shot at all. He's only beat one ranked fighter on the UFC roster, and that's an aging Rafael dos Anjos, who's a lightweight now. And he's probably not going to be ranked after his next fight. He's on the downside of his career. He's the 11th ranked lightweight. So Covington hasn't fought in almost 2 years. I think his mouth pretty much in this fight.
He got beat up, but he wasn't in the cage. He was outside the nightclub.
After the last fight he won.
He lost a brain injury, he said.
Rocky 5.
He had a brain injury before he got beat up by Masvidal.
Yeah, so I just think Leon Edwards, neither one of these guys really finish fights, and if they do, it's later in the fight usually. So yeah, give me that Leon Edwards over 10.5 minutes at minus 110.
This is not on my card, and I forget which. It was a former DC sports reporter. I forget which one it was. They work for a betting company now, but he had found earlier that Covington by submission. And I forget which app he was on, but it was plus. It was 10 to 1 odds. Covington by submission. So I actually found that on ESPN bet at 12 to 1. So I actually sprinkled a little bit on that. So I figured, hey, given his wrestling skills, Colby Covington at, plus 1,200 for submission, it's worth tossing a few shekels on there. So that's what I'm going for.
Is this on your card?
This is not on my actual bet. I actually bet this, but this is not on my card for the show. But this is in my real money wallet.
Okay, so Chris, real quick, are any of these bets on your card for the show?
Yeah, all three of those bets were my official bets.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I should have indicated that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now a couple fun fights to watch that I'm not putting money on because I don't know. One of my favorite fighters, Ariane Lipski, is fighting Casey O'Neill, so that'll be a fun one to watch. Lipski likes to get after it. Cody Garbrandt and Brian Kelleher right after that fight. That should also be fun. And the Stephen Thompson Shavkat Rakhmonov fight. We'll see if Rakhmonov is the real deal, if he can stand with a great striker like Stephen Thompson. And then the co-main event, Pantoja versus Royval. Those are little guys. They like to throw. It'll be fun. So it's a really, really good card.
Yeah, I was looking forward to Vicente Luque and Ian Gary, but Ian Gary supposedly has pneumonia. Yeah, he's like the hated guy in the UFC. Now I guess he's a cook, everybody says. And
his wife's ex-husband lives with him.
That's a cook. Yep.
Is he Will Smith?
He might be.
Okay.
So we're watching the fight at your house on Saturday, Leon?
I don't know about that. I got some things going on Saturday. We'll see. I'll keep you posted.
By things, he means jerking off, drinking a lot, and watching soccer.
Absolutely not. There's all the good soccer is on the day. MLS season's over. I don't watch a lot of.
It's over?
Yeah, MLS is over. The Columbus Crew are your 2023 MLS Cup champions.
Okay. Who knew? Who knew?
Yeah. Well, doing
advertising.
What happened to Messi?
And
Fat Boy froze.
His power drive.
Terrible. Pay your fucking bills, man.
All right, so there he is.
There he is.
I don't know what happened there. That was quite odd. But yeah, the fact that was Don Garber, MLS commissioner, taking exception with my internet connection because he wasn't pleased about my comments about the league schedule. So I'm going to be quiet, or Big Soccer is going to shut me down.
Did you get an Ethernet cord yet?
I have not.
Yeah, let's do that.
It costs like $5, man.
Yeah, I'm lazy. It requires that.
Amazon.
I'll bring one over Saturday when we come over for the fights.
Will it into existence. I was going to make another quote, but given the current political times, I was going to reference something, but I'm going to pull that one back. I'll tell you afterwards. But it was great about willing something into existence. All right, so UFC, we went through those picks there. You had the Leon Edwards, Colby Covington one on your card, right, Scotty? What was your pick again?
Edwards to win in over 10.5 minutes.
There we go. Edwards to win over 10.5 minutes. All right, so let's dive into the college ranks here. I'll go ahead and give mine. I'm going to go ahead with Albany and South Dakota State. On my picks, FCS Championship semifinals, Friday on the Deuce. So this game here intrigues me. Jackrabbits can score a lot of points. Obviously, offense was a little slowed down last week given the weather conditions. I did check. Everything is looking crystal clear in Brookings. It's going to be cold, but a slight wind on Friday night, so shouldn't be too bad there. The line on this game is South Dakota State minus 20.5. Over under is 46.5. I'm taking the over 46.5 points. Albany can score points, but the Jackrabbits score in bunches. Given the good weather conditions, I think they'll be primed to make their third straight trip to the national championship game. So I'm going to go over 46.5 points on this one here in Brookings.
Question.
Yes, sir.
For the FCS, do they play the championship on a neutral field, or they just go home field advantage?
They play the championship on the neutral field. It's my God, I forget the name of the stadium, but it's in Frisco, Texas, where FC Dallas plays.
Is that every year, or is it a rotating thing?
That's every year for the last, I want to say 10, 15 years or so.
That's surprising. Do people actually show up?
No, it's a good crowd, especially the team in my second pick here, especially if North Dakota State comes. The Bison fans made it like an annual tradition. Like their bars that cater to the North Dakota State fans, they literally come and take over the Metroplex area in Dallas and hit up all the bars, the hotels, and they travel well. So if North Dakota State wins this game, there's going to be a ton of green and gold there. South Dakota State travels well too. So if either one of those Dakota teams make it, you're going to see a big crowd from there. Montana travels, but not as well as the two Dakota schools.
Do they travel by horse and buggy?
Montana? No.
They ride in on the back of Buffalo.
All three of them.
Yeah. Montana actually just straps themselves to the back of Grizzlies. They just ride across the plains, you know? Yeah. All right. So in Montana on Saturday, we got the Grizzlies hosting the Bison of North Dakota State. This one 4:30 on the Deuce. So Bison are favored by a point here, so pretty even matchup. Over under is 49.5. I think this is going to be a very close game. I actually feel like this game is going to go to overtime. And for that reason, I'm going to go ahead and take the over. I'm going over 49.5 points in this game. Both teams can score pretty good. Should be great weather conditions. Should be an excellent football game. I know you guys aren't FCS guys, but this will be a fun one to watch on Saturday. All right, and then for my final non-NFL pick, I'm staying in the college ranks, and I'm going because bowls start on Saturday. In case no one knew,
Yep.
I'm going with
clue.
the New Mexico Bowl. The Aggies of New Mexico State taking on the Bulldogs of Fresno State. New Mexico State coming off that loss to Liberty in the Conference USA Championship game, but they get their quarterback Diego Pavia back. He left that game early with a shoulder injury. They have a wide receiver that's coming back in this game as well. Jerry Kill's boys are solid. You saw them go into Auburn and beat Auburn a few weeks ago. New Mexico State, by the way, 4-0-1 all time in bowl games. They're playing this game in Albuquerque on their arch rival New Mexico's field. So they're pretty much at home, not that far away. I'm going to go with New Mexico State on this one. The line on this game here was the Aggies minus 3.5. The over-under was 51.5. I'm going to take New Mexico State to cover that 3.5 points. So Aggies minus 3.5 in the New Mexico Bowl.
I almost picked this game, but I was going to go Fresno +4. Kind of like everything you just said. It seems like everything just seems to be a little too convenient for New Mexico State. And Fresno State has their coach. They're out. He's out with like health concerns. He stepped away from the team.
Yeah,
I think Fresno State might rally behind that. Everybody's picking. I can't find one person saying Fresno State. I don't know if they'll win, but I think it's going to be a close game.
I didn't check this look at the opt-outs on which side here. I know New Mexico State, I think pretty much has a whole slate. I'm not sure about Fresno State, but that's going to be the one thing during bowl season. Who's opted out? Who's going to the draft? Who's in the portal? Because these teams now are just shells of what they were during the regular season. Like, you know, whoever Ohio State's bowl game with, they don't have their quarterback. They don't have this. They don't have that. Like North Carolina doesn't have Drake May. They don't have Tez Walker. It's just these are shells of these teams by the time we get to the postseason. Yeah. All right, Scotty, I'll start with you. I believe you have a bowl game on your roster as well.
Yeah. Did you just mention Boise State and their quarterback?
No, I mentioned Ohio State.
Okay. So I'm actually going UCLA. I got it at minus 3.5 on Fanatics. I don't know if Fanatics just isn't updating their app because it's been having issues, but everywhere else was like 4.5. But I got UCLA minus 3.5. Boise State is starting a third-string freshman quarterback who hasn't taken a snap all year. Other than that, they don't.
I can get him on that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody else is opting out, but he hasn't taken a snap all year. And then UCLA, their freshman quarterback did hit the portal, so he's not playing. But they got a backup, Ethan Garbers. He's put up decent numbers in a handful of games this year, and he's been in Chip Kelly's system for a couple of years. Yeah, and I think he's definitely going to come out motivated, trying to say like, hey, I can be the guy next year. You don't need to go out to the portal and grab another quarterback. I think he's going to be motivated for sure. And just that alone, basically, I'm going to take the UCLA minus 3.5.
Boom. All right.
I just got in on it. Let's go.
Well, careful on the Fanatics app. I don't know if it's just my phone, but the bets aren't going through. So I actually double bet some game tonight. So you'll hit it. It doesn't tell you the bet went through. You hit it again.
Mine went through.
I had that issue yesterday and today on the Fanatics app. If you just immediately go to my bets, like immediately afterwards, just to check to see if it posts.
But it wasn't even giving me the message because I get that too. Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. I'm in. Still minus 3.5.
Well, now that's the kiss of death here. That Chris is trailing you here. And then you already gave your UFC pick, so you got one more non-NFL pick here, Scotty. And you're on college basketball, UConn and Gonzaga. The Seattle off late night. Get that on.
Yep, Friday night, 10 o'clock. It's in Seattle, so basically a home game for Gonzaga, but not an actual home game. But I don't think it matters. I got this also this is on Caesars, minus 4.5. I got UConn. I just think they're just a much better team right now. Gonzaga, I don't think deserves I don't think they're a real top 10 team right now. And UConn's only had one true road game so far against Kansas. They lost by 4. They kept it close, but they've won neutral site games by double digits against Texas and UNC. And Gonzaga, they really haven't beat anybody yet this year. And I just think UConn's better just about everywhere, I think, and give me the minus 4.5.
Ooh. All right. So there we go with the non-NFL stuff this week. That leads us into Thursday night football here. This game between the Chargers and the Raiders. Chris, I know you have this on your card, and we'll take your pick first on this and go into your NFL picks. But let's talk about this game for a little bit. We got Easton Stick starting at quarterback for the Chargers, and then Aiden O'Connell for the Raiders. And apparently, since we've been recording this, I think I saw as I was leaving my office to come in here that there's going to be no Josh Jacobs for the Raiders.
Yep, correct.
So a game really devoid of star power. I mean, obviously we have Max Crosby and Devontae Adams, but a lot of guys.
Did you say Keenan Allen?
What's that?
Did you say Keenan Allen was out? Because he's out too.
Keenan Allen, I did not see that. So Keenan Allen out as well. Is this, you heard of Custer's last stand? Is this Staley's last stand with the awful Charger team?
Yeah,
is there any saving this for him, or is he just playing out his time?
No, he's done. If
he wins out, maybe. But that's not happening. And I thought Easton Stick was like a baseball bat I used to have back in the day. I
saw a lot of memes online today of hockey sticks, because I think Easton makes hockey sticks too. They made baseball bats. So yeah, Easton Stick. Sporting goods retailers all over the country are thankful for the subliminal message as we approach the Christmas season. Maybe 7-year-olds all over the country are going to get a new bat now because of him.
So somebody has this on their card?
Chris has his game on his card.
We should all, after Chris, at least give our prognostication since it's Thursday night.
Yeah. So since I went undefeated last show for all my picks, 6-0.
Don't count. That's you missed
6-0.
You weren't here.
That's why we were off last week.
Yeah, you weren't here, Chris. This is like when Pitt football rolls up in their equipment truck, has all their national championships all over it, and like half that shit is before integration. A lot of it's like leather helmet days. If the teams weren't integrated, your national championship doesn't count. If the show didn't air, your picks don't count.
What do you mean it didn't air?
We didn't have a show last week.
I'm talking about the week before.
No one's going to go back and fact check you on that.
Hey, I went 3-0 NFL 2 weeks ago too. 26-13 for the year. Let's go.
Here we go.
I went on a date with Paris Hilton last week too. It was great. We made a tape. It's called One Night in Paris.
All right. Anyways, so all signs point to this game being a dumpster fire. Nobody is going to score points. It's going to be the worst football game of the year. And for that exact reason, I'm going under 34.5. This game's going to suck. It's going to be terrible. Eckler's probably going to get hurt. It's just the way both their seasons are going. Devontae Adams probably going to twist his ankle and not play. So under 34.5. Don't bother tuning in. We're not getting sponsored by Amazon, so fuck them.
That astute analysis there. The line that I saw earlier today was Raiders by 3. Raiders given 3 points, and over-under was 35.5 that I saw earlier. Chris, I'll go ahead and slide down to what do you say, 34.5?
Yeah, 34.5 is what I got it in at lunchtime.
Okay, I'll go ahead and slide down to that. Everything that you just said about it being a terrible game, I agree with, but that's why I'm going to take the over, because we thought the same thing last week going into Patriots Steelers. And for whatever reason, whenever we get what we think is going to be a toilet of a football game, it always ends up being, interesting in some kind of shootout. Somehow, some way, there's going to be some guy you've never heard of from, Western State Mechanical Engineering and A&I that's going to run for 150 yards and score a touchdown. This thing's going to go over. I'm taking it over 34.5. I don't know how. It might be a field goal fest. They might sell it on penalty kicks. I don't know, but I'm going over 34.5 here.
Yeah, I was actually gonna. It's not on my card, of course. Is this on your card, Leon, or no?
It is not on my card.
Okay, I got 2 bets in. I didn't mess with the total. I was gonna bet the over for most of the reasons you said, but the Raiders got shut out by the Vikings last week. I just can't. I can't.
They lost the game 3-0.
Yeah. But I do the 2 bets I have Easton Stick over, I think it was 185 passing yards. That's just one of my systems. When you have a backup quarterback the first game, you ride them. And for that reason, also Chargers +3. He'll fall apart in a week or two. I'm not saying he's going to have a great game, but if they are losing garbage time, he can get to 186. And I was also with Fanatics. It's like at 193 in other places. So I don't know what Fanatics is doing, but yeah, I'll take it.
Fanatics, go home, you're drunk.
Yeah.
But also keep putting the lines that low so that we can keep making money.
They keep giving the free $1 bets each day. As well. I think Scotty thinks this is going to be Easton Stick's Josh Dobbs game, where Josh Dobbs played amazing for 1 week, and now he's QB3 this week in Minnesota.
I'm not saying amazing. I'm saying just a little better than people think. That's usually how it is before people get tape on him.
By the way, do you know where
Did he really get dropped that low?
Yeah, he's QB3 this week.
Jesus.
Do you know where Easton Stick?
Who's the backup?
Oh God. Oh Lord, it just went into my brain. I totally forgot.
They got the.
I'll go. I saw the tweet earlier with the depth chart, and I forgot who it was, but
Mannion.
I think it is Sean Mannion.
Okay. All right.
You know what?
Pull that out of your ass.
I knew he was there at some point.
Who? You know what? It's Mannion and Mullins are before him. I forgot.
Mullins is a starter.
Yeah.
Line went up to 36.
No money's coming down.
Use my free bet on that.
Oh, I might bet the under on that now. That's going up a little too much.
Do you know where Easton Stick went to college?
North Dakota State.
He just looked it up. He's looking at the.
He totally looked it up. That's why.
I
looked it up earlier.
I remember Scotty texted that in the group chat last week when he came in the game.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I did. That's right. Yeah.
I remember him giving way to Trey Lance. Which, by the way, North Dakota State. I didn't mention this in the preview of that game. Their head coach is leaving, and I don't know if he's coaching Saturday. I meant to look it up. He's leaving to become linebackers coach at USC. How do you go from FCS powerhouse to position coach in Power 5? I mean, USC is great. It's a great program. It's a great stepping stone, but
it's not. It's a great program, but a linebackers coach? I mean, I guess he's like, all right, the defensive coordinator is going to get fired in 2 years. Maybe I can get promoted then.
Well, didn't they just fire the defensive coordinator? So it's going to be a brand new one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's going to be fired in a couple of years when they give up 50 points a game.
But yeah, I mean, like the last guy that was there, Chris Klein, he went to Kansas State. And before him was, and he's doing a great job there, before him was Craig Bowl, who started the whole North Dakota State dynasty. He went to Wyoming, and Bowl was actually retiring following Wyoming's bowl game this year. So last couple of guys have gone on to, FBS programs, one group of 5, one Power 5. But going from head coach to position coach
is that more money?
I'd imagine USC linebackers coach is going to pay more than North Dakota State head coach. I would imagine.
And you get to live in LA and not fucking North Dakota.
That's not necessarily a good thing for some people.
Not for your money. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope you got Shohei Ohtani's accountant to make that money more for you. All right. Next up on the NFL slate here, Chris, on your card, we'll just go ahead and you finish your picks. You got the Battle of the Bay somewhere. Warren Sapp and Brett Favre are smiling somewhere. Just love these games. Tampa Bay and Green Bay at Lambeau Field, 1 o'clock on CBS on Sunday. You're up, Christopher.
I have no analysis. I just have a feeling the game's going over 41.5.
That same bet almost made my card. So.
See? In simpatico, would y'all spoon yesterday?
No, I wish.
Sky's a big spoon.
I miss Scotty. I haven't seen him in a while.
He finally let me be the little spoon.
You told me earlier the feeling is not mutual. All right, and then in a game that's going to make football cry, you have Atlanta and Carolina, 1 o'clock on Fox. Which, by the way, there's a new head man in Carolina, not for the Panthers, but for Charlotte FC, the soccer team. Their new manager, his name is Dean Smith. I don't know if David Tepper got confused and thought he was hiring the other Dean Smith. He's unavailable right now.
Permanently.
Taking that long nap, so I don't know what's going to happen with the Queen team.
I heard the Afterlife team made the Final Four last year. I heard.
Hey, I bet you if you put together a team, that's actually a good non-football season show. Let's pontificate that. If we put together each school's dead ACC All-Star team, that might not be bad. We're probably just going back to a lot of white guys from the 50s.
It might be offensive.
Yeah.
But it might not be bad.
Yeah, that's not bad. All R.I.P. What was that movie? R.I.P. PD?
I've never seen it. It looked bad.
Yeah, it looked terrible. RIP ACC, which we might be getting soon anyway, once Florida State leaves us.
Next Halloween.
RIP ACC? Is that where we're going next?
No, we'll just do a dead bracket.
Oh, okay. I was like, if we're doing RIP ACC, Scotty has to be Boston College, right? He's like little, he's kind of out there, just like, oh yeah.
He's Virginia Tech.
No,
we're doing basketball. Oh no, I can't.
Completely irrelevant.
Yeah.
No, Chris, I think you're Louisville. Given the current shape of the program,
I bet on Louisville last night.
Jesus Christ!
I actually watched that game. They are so bad. I figured they're at home. They're playing Arkansas State. I'm like, all right, it was -3.5. Like, they'll cover that. They got to. Terrible. And all the announcers did the whole time was talk about every time the player got the ball for Louisville, they'd say top 80 players so-and-so, top 30 players so-and-so. They just kept talking about how they had all these top 100 guys. They suck, dude.
They had a player yesterday announce that he was going to attend the game. I forget why he wasn't playing, but he was going to attend the game. And they apparently had a doubleheader between the men and the women. And then he announced also yesterday he was in the transfer portal. So, yeah.
So I think Louisville said he was in the transfer portal, and then he came back and said, he said that's disheartening and disrespectful for them to say that. I never said that. And then Louisville came back and said, yeah, this guy's been dismissed. And then he announced he's entering the portal.
Yeah, and this was also the same gentleman who was rumored to get into a fight with Kenny Payne earlier, like an actual fisticuffs fight. So there's a lot of bad shit going on. They long for the days of Patino and
I bet Kenny Payne beat the shit out of him too.
Probably.
Yeah. All right. So Chris, what was your pick again on Atlanta and Carolina?
I haven't said so yet, but Atlanta sucks. Their coach sucks, and I'm going Carolina money line +140. They got to get another win.
Panthers to get their second win of the year?
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Dude,
they're at home. Atlanta's terrible. Yeah.
Carolina money line. Dude, I listen to
+140.
A lot of North Carolina sports talk radio, and God bless them. There's a podcast on the Ovius and Giglio network, OG Triangle Media, called Young Gun with Dimitri Ravanos and Lauren Brownlow, and they chronicle the Panthers, more specifically Bryce Young in his rookie season. And it's just disheartening to watch Brownlow, who legitimately loves the Panthers, to see her poor face like break each week and become more disillusioned with how squalid this franchise has become. If it wasn't so funny, it'd be sad, or sad it'd be funny, or I don't know. But
Tepper's the new Dan Snyder, picking quarterbacks and then firing the coaches when it doesn't work out. How long has he had the team? He's had more coaches than years he's had the team.
Is it what,
3 or 4 years?
No, it's been like 6 years, I want to say.
Yeah, it's 5 or 6, and I think he's about to hire his next coach will be his 7th head coach that he's hired.
Which is funny because he came from Pittsburgh. He used to be a minority owner of the Steelers, and he's a Pittsburgh guy. And, remember the whole brouhaha about when they released Matt Canada, Steelers never make in-season moves. And Tepper has been anything but Steeler-like.
Yeah.
But maybe he's new Steelers, because Ben Roethlisberger said that Steeler tradition apparently may be coming to an end. So maybe he's embracing what the new Steelers are going to be. Who knows?
Fuck off, Ben.
Yeah. All right. So, Scotty, on your NFL card there, speaking of those Pittsburgh football Steelers there, they're in Indianapolis to take on the Colts, a Saturday game this week. They'll have some Saturday action.
Yeah, I'm going Colts -1.5. Got this on ESPN bet. The Colts are at home. Trubisky's playing. He looked god-awful in his last game. Was it last week?
No.
It was last week.
Last Thursday against the Patriots.
We're seeing him look really bad. Yeah. So, he's still terrible. The Steelers are coming off losses to the Patriots and the Cardinals. And this was with them being in the playoff hunt. I mean, they're still in it, but it's not like, if you can't get up for these games late in the season when you're in the playoff hunt, like, why are they going to get up in a road game against the Colts? Minshew, I keep thinking the wheels are going to fall off. It hasn't happened yet. I don't really know why this is 1.5 with Trubisky starting, but I'll take it.
All right. So He's got that one. And then you and I will go back to back on this one because I have this on my card too. The Tommy Cutlet show. Tommy DeVito and the Giants roll into New Orleans. So we got the chicken cutlet against the muffaletta. What's the better sandwich this week? Let's see what happens. We got the Giants and the Saints.
Yeah, this was a blind bet for me. I said no matter what, I'm fading Tommy DeVito this week. I don't care what the number is. It's -6 most places, but once again, Fanatics came through for me. I got it at -5.5 over there. He's not a good quarterback. I forget what I was listening to, but they compared him to the Jeremy Lin situation with the Knicks that 1 year. That's
not even close.
But I like it. It's like he's not. This is not going to last. Like he's won 3 games in a row, but it's against bad teams. It's just not. I don't really like the Saints, but the Saints are gonna beat them by more than 6 points. I just feel like I'm the Jesse Pinkman meme. Like he can't keep getting away with this. Like it's not gonna happen. And the game's in New Orleans, so he can't sleep at his parents' house. His mom can't make him the chicken cutlets, like you said. I think this is the game where we see that he is who we think he is. Saints -5.5, and his agent. Is that really his agent?
That's his agent. He's so great. In fact,
He's great.
saw he was getting inducted into the Chicago Italian Sports Hall of Fame. Like I think it was last Saturday. I mean, how fitting is that? He looks like he got dropped from Al Capone's game back in the day.
I kept waiting for him to sing "Zoot Zoot Riot." It never happened. He looks like a Broadway mob actor.
I bet you he knows where you could get a Tommy gun. I bet you anything he knows where you can get a Tommy gun.
All right, so that guy's definitely not an agent. So I'm thinking he must have did something for the family, and they just had to give him a job. Yeah,
I'm riding with him. I got no Italian blood, but I love the Italians. That was a terrible Italian voice. But I mean, I'm an Englishman. What I'm going to say. I'm taking Tommy Cutlets here and the Giants plus I got him +6 on ESPN bet earlier. So that's what I'm taking, +6 with the Giants. Look, it ain't pretty. It ain't sexy, but they're finding a way. And it's a team that's becoming more confident. And you can tell they rally behind this guy. They like this guy. And when you get a group of guys that believe in themselves and a group of guys that like each other, they can play above their talent level. And this team's going to be dangerous down the stretch. I'm not saying they're going to win. I'm not saying they're going to find a way to back into the playoffs, but they're going to be a feisty out for the rest of the season. I'm not sold on the Saints. You know, they'll turn the ball over. You know, Derek Carr can throw some sort of pick or whatever. Like, it's going to happen. I'm riding with the Giants plus the 6 points. New Orleans.
The only danger they're going to see is when DeVito gets benched and the freaking mob shows up.
Yeah, I'm sick of this shit. I'm ready for this story to be over. It was cute for a week. It's fucking annoying now. Fucking go away, Tommy DeVito.
Well,
never come back.
Someone that's about to go away, allegedly, Bill Belichick. His swan song in New England, according to reports. And what better when your job is maybe on the line than having a pissed off Kansas City coming to town? That's like chicken noodle soup when you're a kid, right? That cures everything. That's going to go real well, right, Scotty?
Yeah. Don't bring that fucking guy to the Commanders, Belichick.
No,
maybe
no.
5-10 years ago, but no, especially if he wants full control. But anyways,
no.
My pick on this game, I got under 37.5. Also on Fanatics. I think it's at 37 or 36.5 in most places. But yeah, both teams have hit the under in 8 of their 12 games this season. I think that trend's going to keep going. Even if Kansas City, because you got to think their offense is going to get on track at some point. I mean, right now they don't have a receiver that wants to catch the ball, but they're going to have a game at some point where they get back on track. I think even if that is this week, I don't think Bailey Zappi is going to be able to have 2 good games in a row. I think Kansas City's defense has been playing well all year. They're going to shut down the Patriots' offense. And if the Chiefs keep doing what they're doing, they're not going to score too many points either. So I think 37.5 is too many points.
And if I could borrow a phrase from today's youth, the Patriots are feeling some sort of way, apparently, with Malik Cunningham leaving them to go to the Ravens. being signed off their practice squad. Did you see all the tweets and Instagram posts? Apparently, there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes about Belichick maybe not using him correctly. Even Bailey Zappi was like, talking about his talents and then going to Baltimore and stuff. So I don't think this is a real cohesive unit in New England, and I don't think that's going to be pretty when you got a pissed off Kansas City team coming in. Let's hope Kadarius Toney lines up on side. Patrick Mahomes doesn't go Draymond Green. Those are the two things that we have to look out for this week.
Yeah, I'm a Mahomes guy.
Are we getting Taylor Swift? I hope we get Taylor Swift.
I can't imagine that the massholes would embrace
New England. Yeah,
I can't see that.
She's got a show in Boston. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? So, well, all right. Well, I gotta go into my picks here. Denver and Detroit, Saturday, 8:15 on NFL Network. The Broncos, look, the defensive stats are obviously, going to be tilted because that 70-point game to the Dolphins, but they've been playing well. They've been finding ways to turn the ball over. They've been scoring. They're riding a streak right now. That team's playing themselves in the playoff contention. Detroit, coming off that questionable loss to Chicago, they're 9-4. The Lions defense can't stop anyone. They'll keep anyone in the game. So I'm going to take Denver plus the 4 points here. I feel like Detroit probably gets a late field goal to win this thing by 1 or 2, but I like Denver plus the 4 points. So I think it will be a pretty close game. We already went over New Orleans and the Giants. So the last game on my card here is the Washington Commanders. Have they changed the name yet? Are they still the Commanders?
For now.
Okay, just want to make sure. They tend to change the name a lot. So the Commanders in Los Angeles taking on the Rams here. I got this one. Where was it here? I got this one. I got LA minus 6.5 points earlier on ESPN bet. I'm going to go ahead and take the Rams minus 6.5 here. They're looking better. The offense is figuring things out. I really like Kyrie Williams. He can run the ball. I saw Rashawn McVay say that Sam Howell is, they say he's dangerous or something along those lines. Sam Howell is good for one inexplicable fumble or turnover a game. I don't really like Washington, any of what they're doing. You can see like some of the guys have left too and the impact they're making on their new teams with Chase Young in San Francisco. Montez Sweat and the Bears defense look completely different since he's gone over there. It just shows you the level of mismanagement that was going on in Washington. I don't like anything that they're doing right now. Give me the Rams minus 6.5 in this one.
Whatever gets Rivera fired, I'm with.
Yeah. Who gets fired first, him or Brandon Staley?
I think they're going to get fired 2 seconds after the season ends, both of them.
Yeah, okay. The pink slips come out back to back.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
he would have been fired by now if they were going to fire him in season.
Well, we are running out of time here. We're going to do one quick story before we get out of here, before kickoff on the football game of some of the non-sports stuff here. And I'm going to go with a story that I saw from the Takeout, which is a site covers a lot of food topics and stuff like this. And apparently Alex Earl, she's a TikTok star. Have you guys ever heard of her?
Nope.
Chris? Alex Earl?
No, I don't think so.
Apparently, if anyone knows, I didn't even look her up, but if she's a TikTok star and social media personality, I'm sure she is. So apparently she put out a 14-second TikTok that turned some heads. She says, I have an extreme hot take. And she was holding up a can of Progresso chicken and home-style noodle soup. Recently, I've been opening up soup from the can and eating it cold. Is it okay to do? And this has been sparking debates all across the interwebs. Is it okay? Is it frowned upon to eat soup right out of the can?
I've never.
Sounds gross.
Yeah.
She's okay.
Basically, his take on what she looked like.
Yeah. That one had rice in it. I wouldn't eat the one with the rice. I might eat the chicken noodle soup cold.
But soup in general, no matter what it is, whatever your favorite soup, minestrone, Italian wedding soup, whatever it is, beef and barley, is it okay to eat it out of the can cold?
Yeah,
I never thought about it. I don't see
all you're doing is warming it up. So I would assume.
Like, are you saying is it going to be delicious or is it okay?
Yeah, like, is it okay? Is it socially acceptable? Would you back?
I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks about my eating habits.
Or dressing habits, or sunglasses habits, or
Exactly.
Yeah.
Look, yeah, I don't care. Whatever.
If it's delicious, it's delicious.
I'm the pretentious one on here, so you guys probably aren't expecting this from me. I love cold soup out of the can. Now, if my wife is around, I am not going to put the spoon immediately in there and start eating it. I will at least pour it into a bowl. If she's around, just because I don't want to hear the wifely correction, and is a nice word of saying instead of nagging about it. But yeah, when I lived with one Michael Bisaglia, sometimes contributor on this program, guest host of Bad Weather Fans, co-host of Bad Weather Fans, what I meant to say. When I lived with him, he would always give me shit because I loved the clam chowder that you would get, like the Campbell's or whatever, and I would eat the clam chowder right out of the can.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
That might be different.
Yeah.
Look, people were always worried about, you're going to get botulism or whatever. This isn't like 1832. Like, can technology has improved since then.
That's what all the sodium is for, to keep it preserved.
Exactly.
I just feel like that would be nasty. I don't know. I feel like that needs to be.
Yeah, I've never had clam chowder anyways, so I don't know.
Look, I'm lazy and I don't like hot soups. I don't know why. I'm not a soup guy in general, but I don't really like hot soups. I prefer a cold soup. If somebody just like chili. Chili's better the next day out of the fridge, cold. I feel the same way about soup. Before we started doing this episode, I had to finish off some hot soup that my wife did not want because she thought she had chicken and dumplings. She wasn't paying attention, and she had purchased a can of chickpea and dumplings. And she's eating this soup, and she's like, tastes like chickpeas. And she's not really a fan of chickpeas. And then, as all women do, if there's something that they don't want, they bring to their spouse, here, you finish this. And I guess I'm like the resident trash compactor. So
Me and Scotty wouldn't understand that.
Yeah. I had to eat the chickpea and dumpling soup, which is also piping hot, because when my wife makes soup for herself, it literally has to scald your skin off. And I just don't enjoy that. I like a cold soup. I like a gazpacho.
Yeah. Why did your voice go so high when you said that? It squeaked. You squeaked when you said gazpacho.
I get excited.
Yeah, I'll eat soup, whatever. It doesn't matter. If it's like beef stew, I'll eat it right out of the can. That's fine.
What about Chef Boyardee? You strike me as a guy that likes Chef Boyardee. Would you eat it right out of the can?
I'm not a fan of Chef Boyardee, but if I do have it, I gotta put it in a bowl, put it in the microwave, and melt cheese on top.
Interesting.
I do that too. If I have
gotta add cheese to it because it's not good without it.
I only have it once or twice a year now. If it's sometimes they'll go on sale for $1 a piece. I'll grab a couple. But
yeah.
One of my favorite snacks in the summer when I was a teenager, you get that can of beefaroni. You just crack that bad boy open. You just get a fork and you just go right in there and just cold.
Yeah.
You need me to touch that shit now. But in a different life, I like the Chef Boyardee out of a can. But I'm a cold soup guy. I'm not judging her. I like it. You want to eat your soup that way? Completely fine in my book. What's weird is Canadians and their milk in the bag. But we'll save that story for another day.
Milk in the bag.
Canadians are just weird.
You never see milk in the bag, Scotty?
I think I've seen it, but I didn't know it was a thing.
Yeah, the Canadians, they like milk in the bag. And if I remember correctly, it's not even in the goddamn freezer section or dairy, encased cold section or whatever. I think it's on the shelf in a bag.
Nah, it's in the cold section.
Okay, maybe I know
it's refrigerated.
There's other countries I know around the world, though. I think the majority of countries don't have refrigerated milk, if I remember correctly. Someone can fact check.
Evaporated? That's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, for more interesting milk takes, you can follow us online, Scotty, where besides this address below, which makes sure to click the little bell button and subscribe.
Can we talk about the Doritos liquor real quick?
Okay, you got a couple minutes here before the football game comes on. Sure. Doritos has an interesting new product here.
So we might have to try this and maybe meet up and and try it all together since we don't have a studio anymore. But Doritos is coming out with a nacho cheese. Doesn't say what type of liquor it is. Did you see that?
I think it was a vodka, wasn't it?
It looks like a vodka, but let's see. It just calls it a spirit. Let's see.
That's fucking disgusting.
So it's open for
I'm kind of intrigued. I think I'd try it.
So it's open for pre-order right now. It's Doritos and Empirical, Empirical. And let me read the thing here. It's malted barley, Belgian Saison yeast 2, and Doritos nacho cheese. Tastes like the real thing. Experience the indulgent flavors of your favorite snack in the liquid form. The spirit opens with umami and tangy aromas of nacho cheese, moving up to deeper corn-flavored chips, corn-flavored flavors. Say that 5 times. Corn-forward flavor. God damn it, I quit.
Bro, are you fucking having a stroke?
I'm so glad I decided to talk about this.
I can't read and I can't speak. Corn-forward flavors of the chip. There we go. I promise you.
I'm clipping the I can't read part. Yeah, I'm gonna buy a bottle when it comes out, and we'll have to meet up and try it and rate it.
$65? What the fuck?
Yeah, Scotty, I believe it is a vodka because one of the marketing pictures I see, which would be helpful, by the way, if they said what it was.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like a vodka, but one of the marketing pictures I see does have it in a Bloody Mary. So I'm going to go ahead and assume that that's a vodka.
I'm reading the thing. It says it's an uncategorized spirit. Or the company is Uncategorized Spirit Company.
Okay.
So they get to experiment. It's only available in New York and California markets in January.
But I'm on the website where it says you can pre-order though.
You can pre-order it.
They can ship it.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. What are the laws with that shit nowadays in Virginia?
You can get liquor shipped to you. Some via certain websites and certain some can't go directly to you. You have to go through like a third party. I just put my zip code in for this, and it does say delivery is available in your area, so you can pre-order it online. Okay. So if you want to procure a bottle, I will gladly pitch in my share toward this.
All right, we're doing
it. So they got margarita, a Bloody Mary, and a Bangarang that they've created drinks for. So
interesting.
I'll just take a shot. Screw all that.
Yeah.
Chris got down the bottle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's more detrimental to health? Is it the 68 bottles of water that he drank that day, or just downing this bottle of Doritos liquor?
It's got to be a liquor.
Give me a full bag of Doritos, and I will drink the whole bottle.
No.
God, you get
give me some Doritos Locos Tacos as well. I'll be good.
Okay.
We'll have a good time. We'll live stream it.
Yeah, you're like Joey Ohtani. Your contract demands just keep going up. Well, except you don't have his talent or wit or anything. Really.
I don't think he could drink however many bottles of water in one sitting as I did. So
I bet he could.
Suck on that, Ohtani. I don't think he can. I challenge you, Ohtani.
I'm sure.
How many did I drink?
I'm sure he's got some samurai warrior kind of.
Did I drink a whole case?
You did not drink a case.
It was like 8. I think it was 8.
Yeah, you drink 8 bottles.
No, it was more than 8.
Nah, I think we were going to do 6, and you added 2 for no reason. I think it was 8.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And then you promptly proceeded to spew like Mount St. Helens.
Yeah.
I
don't remember. I think I got brain damage from that.
Well, you've had brain damage.
I don't think it was. Yeah, it was before that. Yeah.
And you'll have brain damage listening to this podcast here, Scotty. Where can you find this monstrosity?
We got the link up right now. If nothing else, please go like and subscribe on YouTube. But you can find us on the socials. Let's Not Do This podcast on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and _ Let's Not Do This on Twitter.
There we go. And be a friend.
YouTube.
Make sure to click that like and subscribe, though, on YouTube. And leave a goddamn comment. That's the most important thing you can do. On that note, we are 9 minutes away, or 14 minutes, actually, from kickoff of Thursday Night Football.
From the worst football game of all time.
Let's go watch the formerly San Diego Superchargers
Let's go.
Formerly Oakland Raiders. The battle of teams they move. Losers should move back to their home market. That's what they should do.
Like it. Let's go, Mr. Stick.
Oh, God, I'm dying. Later, guys.